Hi guys. So I moved. I had to go get some snacks. If you guys have never had combos, pretzels, best thing ever. My favorite is pizzeria. But, pizzeria. So when we were, this is Color Me Happy 4, episode 4. And it's September 19th, 2019. I'm Overland. And so those snacks, when we were living in Lake George, New York, we did Polynesian dancing for my dad's show. And we were always on a strict diet. Like, you're talking about we could only eat watermelon with everything. That's why I hate watermelon now. Except watermelon Sour Patch, the soft kind. I love those. Hello. Um, what else was the strict diet? Like, we couldn't eat after a certain time. We couldn't eat sweets. We weren't supposed to eat sweets, but because I love to break the rules, I would always eat my brownies and my combo. So, anyways, you guys should. You could get it at 7-Eleven and Walmart, I think. Any grocery store, but a couple years back, I want to say at least 12 years back, combos wasn't in stock. Like, they weren't selling it. So, anyways, I'm gonna put this down because then I'm gonna chew too much. Live number 4. Well, before I get into live number 4, if you don't know about my shirt, you need to go. I will leave the owner, not the owner, I'm the owner, but the business owner of this design is Lex. Him and his wife. They live in St. George, but I met them over Labor Day weekend, and this was always my favorite design of his, and he just barely came out with his shirt. But I love this because it represents my culture and also how I feel about being a Samoan woman. It says, "Remember who you are and straighten out your crown." So, yeah. So last live, I forgot what year it was, and this live, I'm trying to remember what I was talking about last live, but we'll just start. So something that's been on my mind, I follow this man named Tim Ballard. He is the head of Operation Underground Railroad, and they fight against human trafficking. And so, if you guys are on my main page, my main IG, you saw me talk a little bit about how they go into countries and try to save kids from getting sold by these evil people. And it's not only men, but evil women that sell kids for sex. And I mean, the youngest I think that I saw in one of his videos is the age of 9. And there's like freaking, I don't know if it's billions, but I know there's millions of kids all over the world. And it could equal billions because if you combine that total to all the pedophiles and people that are human trafficking here in Utah, then it has to hit at least 1 billion. And just, I'm really sensitive about human trafficking because I don't have kids, but I have nieces and nephews that I consider my kids. And I think it was like 2 years ago, I was thinking about, man, as much as I want to be married and have my own kids, do I really want to bring them into this corrupt world of evil people? Because my my fear, I don't even like to admit it, but my fear is to know anyone, especially if their kid gets sexually assaulted, raped, molested. And these are things that, what was sad growing up is like they were happening in the world, but they weren't so prevalent to us. Like, I didn't even know anything about that until I was like 16, 17. I knew about rape, but I didn't have a knowledge about that. Rape didn't just mean women getting raped, but in the world, men were getting raped, little boys were getting raped. And so, anyways, I'll put Tim's handle and his organization, but I've just been thinking a lot about kids and like the suffering that they go through, and then the aftercare they have to go through once they've been rescued. And so that's what Tim does. Again, look it up if I take too long to post it. But it's called Operation Underground Railroad, and he named it after it correlates with Harriet Tubman, who helped save slaves during Abraham Lincoln's time, I believe. President Abraham Lincoln. She might have come after, but I swear it's like around the same time. But her cause was Underground Railroad. She just like saved slaves and tried to help them to understand they have more to life than just living as a slave and being traded. But with Tim, it's more like they go in to save the kids, and they have such a great need of not only people going with them, but also a great need for funding. And so if you're in a financial place where you can help fund their missions, because it costs like, I think he said 25,000 just to save one kid, and they've saved hundreds already, but there's, like I said, millions and billions, possibly billions of kids that still need saving. And so the other reason I brought that up is because in our community, we don't talk. I don't know if it's just Pacific Islander communities, but I believe it's like a lot of minority communities, because I think Caucasians, they might talk about it a little bit more than minorities, but I feel like, and I've learned that if we educate ourselves about sex, different sex, what'd you say? Anyways, sexual diseases. I feel like if we could educate our kids about that, about abstinence, about rape, about sexual assault, how to recover and heal from those things, I feel like that would help the battle and the war against human trafficking. Because then if you educate people on that tip and make it that like sex is not some forbidden secret that no one should talk about, I feel like that would help against pornography. It would help against sex addicts becoming sex addicts. And so the point of this live is that if you're not aware, get educated. If you're a parent, don't be afraid to talk about it with your kids, especially if you're a minority or if you're a Pacific Islander. Like, do the homework, but then also spread the knowledge, because if the kids can know, and then they'll know like when people are touching them inappropriately when you're not looking, that they need to tell you, and it's not a fear, they're not self-blaming and being shamed. So I don't know if I went over 15 minutes on this one, but that's my message for this live is get educated about about uh, sex in general. Um, Speak about it. Make it a um, normal conversation so that your kids are not afraid and that you don't act awkward. I know for myself, um, my parents never had the sex talk with me. The closest was when I ran away when I was a teenager and my dad. And it was the worst day of my life. Like I wish somebody could have, like I would wish if I had 3 wishes that day for somebody to just take me off the planet, because to have your dad ask you if you're sexually active and yet you've never had that talk with him or with your mom is the worst day of a child. It should be the worst day of a child's life because it was for me. And so when he was like, "Did you run away because I'm a boy? Because you wanted to sleep with somebody?" I was like, "Oh, what the hell is going on?" He just really asked me that. Well, how could you even think that? And so the point of that story is talk to your kids, create a safe space that your kids will always come to you before they go to their best friends, before they go to their mentors, teachers. Be that parent. Don't be like the want to be cool parent, want to be friends with your kids and not be the disciplinarian. Like discipline your kids, but also make it comfortable for them to come to you and ask you and help them to know like what's good for their body and what's not, and how to be protected against pedophiles and predators. And so, yes, look up Tim Ballard, get educated, get your kids educated, and yes, please, if you're financially able, go ahead and donate to Operation Underground Railroad. Okay, guys, I swear, yeah, yeah, I will save that thought for the next one. Okay, love you guys.